Hello, welcome back to Being in Nothingness. Last episode, we got stuck on a 5-bean puzzle, as, you know, things usually happen. Always get stuck in a 5-bean puzzle. So, little bean in a big pond. The setup that we derived last episode was this one, where I got a vine to pick up these beans to form a suitable wall. And after that, blew up the vine, which allowed the vine to pull this bean over. And that's it. That's it. But obviously that wouldn't work, so... what are the other options I have? I'm wondering if it's possible to push an ice block over, like a frozen bomb over. I feel like the answer is no, it shouldn't be possible. It probably isn't possible, is it? I don't think it's possible to get a frozen bomb to be pushed over, because like once I'm here, right, I can't go back. But I might be able to go back if I could bridge over. So like that's fairly interesting. How would I bridge over with like 3 ice blocks maybe? Could I do that? Not really sure if I can do that, honestly. Okay, so icicle. I feel like, yeah, okay, so the things I need are probably a wall to block your vision. Actually, no. The idea is that if if I not only need to block your vision because I don't need to bring a bean over, then that might be okay. So let's say I put a cloud in the water. No, bad idea. Okay, hold on. I need the icicle somewhere else. How about here? Yeah, what about if I got a vine to eat an icicle? I could push it in as the final block, right? But positionally, that might not actually work out very well for me, I guess. Like, I could go over now. I could get the vine to eat the icicle and therefore get pushed in as a final block. But, you know, that's not going to actually bridge over because these blocks will never be in the same row as the icicle itself. And even if that were the case, I still can't bring a bean over. You have to be a frozen bomb that gets slid over and then broken into another bean here, which I think actually might work. Like, in theory, I could simply, you know, I could simply have had a frozen bomb here. So like, that is another idea that I can think of now, is to create a bridge of ice blocks. And then the bridge has to be made of exactly 1 bomb, 1 vine, and 1 cloud though. Because the other 2 bomb beans will have to be used to destroy this set of blocks. So the only things left that can actually be here are you, and you. The problem is that I can never get a frozen vine into the same column, same row as you guys. I think. Yeah. So how would I do that? Yeah, I need at least 2 bombs here. Like the setup is good enough for a bridge, but it's sorry, not the setup. The resources that I have are good enough for exactly good enough for a bridge, but the positioning is not. Like, is it ever really possible? I don't think in any way that it will be possible unless I could move the icicle. Or no. The vine's position is locked to the icicle's position. And the frozen block's positions are also locked in a different way to the icicle's position. So I don't think the answer is, I don't think so. Unless for some interesting reason I could destroy the icicle. Like, why would I want to do that though? Is there a reason why I would like to do that? So yeah, I mean, like, this technically works and technically gets me across, but there's an obvious reason why, you know, I shouldn't do this, because there's no reason to go across anymore. Yay! Now I can cross this bridge, but that's completely pointless if there's no yellow bean here. Let me just test something real quick. Okay, so what happens there is that the vine just completely dies, it just loses the... Huh. Okay, well, firstly, interestingly enough, a vine's arm does block icicle aura. The other thing is that a vine just completely goes away when exploded. It's like, it doesn't leave anything, yeah. I think we could have derived that as well. Hmm. I'm still pretty interested about the idea regarding... Never mind. Like getting a something here, right? This doesn't really work, does it? No. I don't think this works. So I gotta find something else, I guess? I probably have to find something else. I don't even suppose like a modification of the solution I have would work. I've thought about using a cloud as an actual cloud that shoots things. Or rather, I've only thought about a cloud as a frozen object. I'm actually no. I'm really certain that this is somewhat close to what I want. Although, am I actually that certain? I don't quite know. Okay. Yeah, I mean it works, but it doesn't actually. I don't quite have it. Is there a reason a vine could, like, what could a vine eat? A vine could eat a cloud. The point of bombs is that when vines eat them, the vine explodes. But the other problem with vines is that once I'm here, I can't go back. So a vine can't eat a bomb from here. Which might actually be which might have been helpful. There's a anti-wand barrier here and here, but not here for some reason. What is that? You want to shoot in this direction? I don't want to shoot in this direction. Only a cloud would float here, but clouds can float. I guess that's the interesting thing. Why does it matter? That cloud is going to perform the exact same function as this cloud. Right? As in, like, vertically we'll shoot things. I guess the other reason magical barriers can be here is that I could set up clouds in here that could help us. But how would a cloud help us? I guess a cloud here... Oh, okay, hold on. Can I have... No, there's no way, right? Like, this seems much too suspicious. Okay, I want to pull a white bean over, it will become a solid cloud. When I shoot the icicle at this position, the cloud will freeze and fall. But I want to take the opportunity... what do I want to do? No, let me check. I want the vine to collect the cloud, which will turn into an actual cloud. And then I also want to blow it up at the same time, right? because I want the vine to be repositioned now. So the vine will now go here to collect this bean. And of course, it's being pulled. It will freeze the cloud. Sorry, not freeze the cloud. It will get shot by the cloud. However, if I can time it right, is it okay if I shot now? No, because it still gets shot by the cloud below. So here it gets shot. If I shoot now at this, this will pull back. This will fall as it gets frozen. This will then shoot upwards. Yeah, that's... You know what? That's kind of fair. I mean... Yeah, I mean, what else was I expecting? This is very finicky. If it would have worked, it's just very bad. Like, it's just the timing wise doesn't really make sense. Yeah, so the bomb gets dropped regardless. And it gets dropped here, so like, it doesn't really matter. I guess. So no, cloud being there does not help. I was thinking the cloud could be useful because of its ability to float, right? So the transition from floating to sinking might take some time, even though in this case it doesn't. It's an instant. Like, the sinking of a cloud instantly provides line of sight to you, which will then instantly shoot. So like some operation, order of operations going on here, I would guess. That allows that to happen. That definitely wouldn't involve this other bean either. Or the other bean could definitely be just used to blow up the vine, like, you know. But no, not a great idea. Okay, what else? I don't know. If I did manage to like build a bridge to here, right? What can I do? I suppose I could block. I suppose if I could stand here myself. It actually would be kind of challenging if I can't bridge from here. If I can only bridge from here out by 2. I could be the one standing here to block the vine from, you know. That would be kind of interesting. But really, how interesting would it be? Because I would need to stand here to activate the vine in the first place. That means if I was to stand here, I would need a bridge from here. Like, let's say I had an icicle here, right? I would like to follow it up with a bean. No, the other way around. I like to collect the bean and then follow up by collecting the icicle. I mean, this seems okay. And like, the reason for that... Oops, is I can like sort of build this tiny bridge across. Then what can happen is, if I were somehow able to, you know, if I was somehow able to like stand here while the vine grabs this one. If I could stand here somehow. Which I can't right now, obviously, but if I could, somehow. Wouldn't that be really interesting? That I could just block this beam from being shot by putting myself in front of it. After that, you grab the icicle, but while you're grabbing the icicle, I can just walk back. The icicle won't be shot by the cloud or anything. I just need to stand in front of the beam for a short period of time. Right? But that, of course, requires me to get to this space from here, this side of the island. This side of the pond to here. Which is, I feel like I feel like that is what these two beams are for. It is to somehow set it up so that there are two frozen blocks. Here and here. Or here and here. More likely it's here and here. Because I can then use this beam to get rid of you guys as well. But how will I get a frozen block here, for example? Like, is that even possible? Without two frozen blocks here. Because I can only afford two frozen blocks. Afterwards, we only have 6 beams, right? Yeah, so 2 frozen blocks. I'll need the icicle, 2 bombs, and a vine. Which means, again, we're only allotted 2 frozen blocks. Maybe that's not a good idea either, though. I really haven't tried using the icicle on the other side. Like... Oh, but the problem is I cannot. How do I bring the icicle to the other side? Is it somehow possible that during the process of pulling a live icicle over, it freezes something that I can then use? Like, for example... No. Like for example, it would freeze something I can push in, you know? Like, for example... it could do something like... this. So at this point, it would freeze the bomb before freezing itself. And I can use the bomb like that. Is that okay? I can kind of like get the vine back, right? And I can use the vine to like pull you across. I can use it to pull what, like 2... Yeah, that seems really interesting. I can use it to pull 2 beams across. Although the problem is that if that were to happen, right, how would I get those beams? I wouldn't be able to get those beams. Because the icicle is already gone and the vine can't really die otherwise. But I felt interesting, I guess. I thought that was interesting. Never mind. Okay, what else? This definitely can't get frozen by... Yeah, this definitely cannot get frozen by an icicle. Could it get pulled by... How would I like physically put down a beam here? That seems challenging. I will say like an interesting idea could be to break a frozen vine in front of you so that you just immediately... but that's kind of tough as well, I think, to pull off, because that doesn't help me. Like, there are a lot of things I could pull here, but what could I actually pull from the other side? Do I need to pull anything from the other side? Maybe. Maybe I pull a cloud. What would a cloud do? I don't know what a cloud could do. Besides being frozen and in the water. Like, could a cloud really be used to shoot something? I don't think so, right? No. A vine pulls... A vine to pull something from here. You know, unless, you know... Hmm. This feels so close, like this specific setup. It feels really good. But we're obviously missing something. I'm not entirely sure what we're missing exactly. We're not really using everything for its purpose, I guess. You could say that. We're using the number of resources correctly, but the purpose of this being a bomb, like, it could just have been... It could have been... We could have entered with 2 clouds, and the puzzle would have been solved the exact same way. So there must be a reason why we have 2 beans, right? 2 yellow beans. One bean will be sacrificed, but is it for his explosion, maybe? I don't actually know. I don't know. But I really don't seem to have anything on me right now. I think I'm gonna have to like give up on this. Because yeah, I am not seeing anything at all. Hmm. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to not do this right now. I'm gonna come back to it eventually, but yeah, I'm not gonna do this right now. I don't think we have time for another 5 puzzle, so I'm gonna just say I've idled there for a bit. Next episode we'll move on to the other ones. I guess we can move on to this one maybe? Or maybe the one up there. Whichever it is, it's... Yeah, we're gonna move on from this. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.